What a comparison we have for the old Marks Max Muscle database today. Paul Dillett, 1990s athlete. For the most part, we're going to use 1994 Paul Dillett. Versus a current competitor, a good one too, Vitalii Ugolnikov, otherwise known as Good Vito. So Paul, he's tall, and I'm sure somebody in the comment section. He's only 6 feet tall. Or 6'1", what have you. He's not 6'1". He was 75 meters taller than Ronnie Coleman. So he was like 6'4", I would say. 6'3", maybe. Let's go through these shots. And like I said, one for the database and one that you cannot really take serious. Because there's no way, shape, or form you can really truly judge these two types of physiques. 1994, guys, there's a big difference when you look at the wheels, the wheel size, the overall size of the guys now. I mean, you have to face it. Yes, they had some crisp abs in the 90s, but put Vitalii up against Paul Dillett, and inch for inch, he looks a lot bigger than Paul. Now, Paul had biceptuals, Arnold Schwarzenegger-like biceps. Unbelievable, actually. And yes, being tall helps. But guys, you gotta face facts. Look at the separation in the wheels on Good Vito. And for his time, Paul had some massive quads. But ditto for Good Vito. For today's day and age, he has some massive quads. Here's the front lat spread. Oh my soul! I didn't even realize. Did you guys realize how good Paul Dillett looks in this front lat spread? Not too shabs. Oh, who am I kidding? Here's the real one. I doctored that other one up. And I have to mention, sizing is also an issue. When you don't have the whole physique, you can't really measure from the bottom of the foot. Because I think I may have actually made Paul a little bit too big. His quads didn't look that big in that front double. Of course, you never know. He did. He had some massive quads. But compared to Good Vito, they don't have that type of separation. Now, Vitalii, his front lat spread, not the best. I might even give this one to Paul. Just not into Vitali's front lat spread. Just not into it. Turn to the side. This is an obvious upper versus lower body situation. Calves, though, look at Paul's calves. His calves are too big for his quads. His delts are too big for his arms. I mean, you hit one wrong pose, you end up looking like a big spider. I'm just joking. That was Mike Katz. Not Mike Menzer. Mike Katz. Not you either, Paul. But your calves are massive. And quads? To be honest with you, Diane, I am surprised Paul's quads don't look better in this comparison. Because he did have some legendary legs. But upper body wise, he's huge too, standing tall, like that movie that The Rock played in. Stand tall, wield a big stick. Here is the next side shot. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, look at the quads now. Could be a bad picture of Good Vito, but you can make all the excuses you want. Paul Dillett in this shot right here, upper body sucks. It's his angle. It's the angle. He has the goods. He's just not giving it to us. Lower half he is. Good Vito, might give him a pass on this side tricep because it's a bad quality picture, but who are we kidding? Not the best pose for Good Vito. Let's look at the back. Couldn't get a good picture of Paul Dillett in the rear lat spread from 1994. This is 93. And I know you people, you picture senders, you guys keep sending me that one, and I keep telling you, that's too blurry. It's even blurrier than the one from 1993, which sucks also. But you can actually see the guy did have some striated glutes. But I mean, look at the striated glutes on, I don't know where that came from. I'll never haul that one out again. But yes, look at the striated glutes on this Good Vito, as well as a hammer fist of a back. Now the back itself, he does need work on it for sure, but the execution of the rear lat spread on good Vito, a deadly shot, a deadly pose. Now, what about the rear double? Paul Dillett. I mean, from that rear lat spread, I would not think that he could achieve such a hard, crisp back development like this in the rear double. Unbelievable. Oh, who are we kidding? This is not Paul's back. Wow. Wowzers. Now, that back that we just seen, that was about the size of Paul's back if he was in proportion. But his back just seems like it's gone. It's gone. Vito's, it's not the best. Huge fan of this guy. Don't really want to bad talk him that bad, but he does need some lats. Man, oh man, does he need some lats. But against Paul Dillett, our man Vito is the clear winner. Maybe not in the arms, but I think that would be about it. The conditioning, lower half, you gotta face facts. Not everybody was Dorian Yates. There was Dorian Yates' level of conditioning, which was probably better than today's guys. Maybe. I don't want to ruffle any feathers of Dorianites. And then there was a big space between Dorian and the next most conditioned guys. Your Sean Rays, your Paul Dilletts, perhaps. But good Vito, clearly ahead of Paul in that aspect. Let us have a look at the abs and thigh lettuce. Like the vegetable bubble. It's a shrub. Again, good Vito, more than holding his own against Paul Dillett. In his own game. I mean, the abs on Paul, they are tremendous. And as you can see, good Vito, probably matching him on that aspect. Actually, very similar are the abs, the entire upper body. And again, to good Vito's credit, this is Tom Platt's level of featherheading. And to Paul Dillett's credit, he's Paul Dillett, 1990s legend. So you guys are going to vote for him no matter what. It's just so sad, man. It's just so sad. Here's the most muscular, and like I mentioned, sizing is darn near impossible when you don't have the calves, things of that nature, like in this picture of Paul. But man, does he look good. Look at the delts. Now here is how they would actually size up against each other. Now admit it. Admit it. Good Vito with his little crown on top. He's huge. Is he beating Paul? Well, maybe not in the most muscular. Maybe not in this nice photo shoot of Paul. But overall, I mean, yeah, it's not even close, guys. The conditioning, the things of that nature, it's 3 or 4 levels down. Now, if Paul was competing nowadays, yeah, he'd run right through a guy like good Vito. And if good Vito competed back in the day, he wouldn't be nearly as good as he is now. So, if you know what I'm saying, sing. The know-how, these guys in the 90s paved the roads for the guys in later years to ride on, and they paved roads for guys today. So, yeah, it's impossible to compare these decades to decades. But still, like Lawcall said before, Paul Dillett, 70% of you guys are going to say, oh, he won every pose. He didn't win every pose. But I love you guys. And you guys love me. As a whole. And if you're protesting, no, I don't love you, Max Muscle. Well, you're not part of the norm. You're not part of the norm. But I love you anyway. Have a nice one.